Hello, this is Jack from teachingeslonline.com, and today I'm going to give you a non-technical review of the Sony A6400. Now, by non-technical, I mean I'm just going to talk about the main features I look for in a video camera, so mainly using this for video, and just go through what I like about it and what I don't. Now, to give you some context, I was using the Panasonic G85, and I got this camera because I wanted to be able to use it outside and vlog myself. I wanted to become a vlogger, but I didn't really make many vlogs because it took a lot of work and it wasn't really suited to the types of videos I wanted to make, which are mainly for English language learners. There's English from Scotland, so I even got a drone around then and realized I don't need a drone to teach English. This camera passes the test when it comes to stabilization. It's fantastic for that, and it's not so bad at autofocusing when your face is really close to the camera. But filming a style of video like this, a lot of the time the footage was unusable when I used autofocus because it would pulse on your face like it was always trying to find focus, or it would just decide to focus on the background, which is not what you want. I overcame this by using an app where I would autofocus and then lock it in manual, but you feel so restricted when you're just here. You couldn't move around. You sometimes would lock it in and then shift, and then you'd be out of focus. So I wanted a new camera that would track me no matter where I went. If I moved back, if I moved in, if I moved over here. And I think the Sony A6400 is fantastic at this. I have been very impressed with this camera when it comes to autofocus. And if you're not in focus, your footage is unusable. So this is such an important part of making videos like this video. But when it comes to vlogging outside, this isn't the best camera because there's no stabilization within the body. Some lenses have some type of stabilization, but that's not enough to give you stable footage when you're walking around. Therefore, this camera is great when it comes to autofocus and just general use on a tripod in this type of setting. I've also noticed the autofocus is fantastic for photos too. I'm not going to use it too much for photography, but I just tested it the other day where my son was riding his scooter down the hill, and I got the face detection and I just kept my finger down on autofocus and it captured perfect focus for about 15 photos. So when it comes to autofocus, the Sony A6400 is fantastic for that. Now, when I'm filming myself, I really want to be able to see myself. And this camera has the flip up screen, which allows you to see what is happening right now. So I can see that I'm just about inside the frame. I should probably put the camera up, that's probably better. And it also allows me just to see if I am exposed correctly. Now, you can always get like an external monitor or something else, but I just think that's an extra thing to get. So I like it when the camera has some type of screen built in. Now, the Panasonic was great for that as well because you could just flip that out, you could flip it this way, and it was great. So when I was vlogging, I would put the screen out like that and I'd be able to compose the image. The only issue is sometimes it's quite tempting just to have a little look up there. When it comes to picture quality, I've been very impressed. Now, I'm using Picture Profile 7, which is S-Log2. This might be a little bit overkill for the types of videos I'm making because this is quite a large file format and it allows you to really just capture all the highlights and shadows. I've also tried using Picture Profile 1 and the results from that are great too. That is the standard movie picture profile. And if you want to just get something good straight out of the camera and then maybe just mess around a little bit with the highlights and shadows and midtones, the Picture Profile 1 is great. But I want to learn a little bit more about using more advanced picture profiles, so I'm using S-Log2 for now. I mainly film in 4K, 24 frames per second. I haven't tried the HD, the 1080p on this. I'm not quite sure what that's going to be like, but my computer can handle 4K footage, especially when I put it into proxy. So I've just decided to film in 4K for now. There's not much else to be said about the picture quality. I mean, a lot depends on the lens you have too. This 16mm is highly recommended, the Sigma one. So is the Sigma 30. And if I were going to do a little bit more photography, I'd get the Sigma 56mm. But a lot of cameras in this price range will give you great quality images and video. And a lot of this also depends on the lighting setup that you have. So don't neglect that. All in all, I've been very impressed with this camera so far. I've only had it for a couple of weeks. I've made about 4 or 5 videos using it. It's reliable. The autofocus is fantastic. There's a lot to learn if you're new to this type of style of video and this type of camera. But if you just search for recommended settings for movies, Sony A6400, you'll find a lot on YouTube so that you can quickly get things set up. In fact, I'll leave a link to a video that I used to get this camera set up initially. And then once you have your settings set up, then just save it under memory recall. Now, I've not really used the slow motion or other settings on this because I just don't see the need for it at this stage. And also slow motion, you would need a tripod or a gimbal to do that properly. And if you're just going to use this camera to shoot videos like this on a tripod at home or in a studio, it is highly recommended. Now, if you want to learn more about this camera and all the tools that I use, then go to the description because I'll have a link to my page where you can look at what I use for my microphone, the lighting, everything that I use. And I also leave some alternative options in there for all types of budgets. Now, let me know what you think. Do you like this camera? Have you used it? Are you thinking about getting it? Leave a comment below. And also, let me know if I should get a different type of lens. I'm very happy with the 16. Again, it's a little bit too wide angle. The 30mm has been great as well, but is there another lens that I should maybe try? Let me know. All right, thank you so much for watching. Speak to you soon. Bye-bye.